get started. It's 7:01, so thank you very much for joining us this evening. We have Kanchi Khanna from KREA University, Ankur Vohra from OP Jindal Global University, and Dr. Shweta Sinha from the Symbiosis School of Liberal Arts, Symbiosis School for Liberal Arts this evening. Thank you. We're just coming to the end of our webinar series. This is our second last webinar. We have the University of Toronto this evening at 9 p.m. So if you would like, please do join us there. But I'm very excited to be hearing from these top Indian universities right now. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Namita Mehta, and I'm the president of the Red Pen. The Red Pen is an independent education consulting company, and we've been around since over the last 9 years. Besides helping families with the undergraduate application process, we actually do work with postgraduate, MBA, and students seeking boarding school admission as well. We have worked with institutions both in India and globally, high schools, that is, to help them set up their counseling departments as well. And my CEO and co-founder, Kim Dixit, is on the call as well, and she's going to be supporting me this evening. Hi, Kim. Hi. So just a couple of rules before we get started. All of you will have a Q&A box in your on your Zoom screen. Please post your questions there. We will not be unmuting any microphones. I will collate the questions, and we will get all of them answered this evening. Please do note that, Kanchi, Ankur, and Dr. Shweta have left their email addresses. I will put this slide up at the end of the evening as well. So if you need to email them with any further questions, you're welcome to connect with them. So thank you. Without wasting any more time, can I please invite Dr. Shweta to start her presentation?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this webinar today. Thank you, Kim, thank you, Namita, and thank you, Red Pen, for creating this platform for all of us to come together and interact with the students as well as the parents. Uncertain times require and need interesting, innovative ways to interact with our audience. So hello, everyone. SSLA is one of the first liberal arts institutions in India that was founded way back in 2011. So we are in our 10th year. Symbiosis started exploring the idea of a liberal arts program way back.
Dr. Shweta, sorry to interrupt. Do you have any slides to share?
Yes, I do. I was trying to share them.
Okay, hopefully you should be able to now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Okay, continue. All right. Give me a moment, please. Is that visible? I'll go on.
Yes. Yes. Go for it.
Okay. So, like I was, as I was mentioning, Symbiosis School for Liberal Arts was founded in 2011. The Symbiosis International University started exploring with the idea and philosophy of liberal arts way back in 2004 and 5, when a team was created which tried to explore liberal arts within the American environment, and brought it back to set up a liberal arts diploma program in 2005 and 6 as the Center for Liberal Arts. The success of it led us to set up the undergraduate degree program in 2011. As a program, as a liberal arts undergraduate degree program, we offer a BA and BSc in liberal arts. And what is very interesting for our program, and we're very proud about it, is the fact that it's homegrown and it caters to the unique situation that India has been in, right? Interestingly, our experience with history has kind of conditioned us to work and think of education as a guarantee to employability and a preparedness for the future. What is unfortunate, however, is this, or fortunate, because actually change is the only constant in this day and age and has always been, is the fact that we live in a global and a changing world which is interconnected, and factors and aspects of from one part of the world influence and change perspectives across the world. So what is actually happening today is that we're living in an uncertain future where what is required is education that allows you to sustain, adapt, and move ahead, right? And move ahead with a certain amount of preparedness and confidence. What SSLA offers is this preparedness and certainty through a program which brings in core courses, electives, and major minors, which kind of bring together the depth and the breadth which a liberal arts program promises. Now, the uncertain future requires certain skills which are specific to a certain critical thinking, interactive learning, and both of these kind of contribute towards employability as well as getting engaged with a further studies program. The program that we offer essentially tries to bring in a 360-degree perspective and the academic rigor of a transdisciplinary and interdisciplinary education program. India has always engaged with education, but our traditional programs essentially were linked very closely to a singular domain knowledge. We have always believed in the idea that education and disciplines are specific territorial compartments, and they should and have not been interacting with each other. However, this uncertain future that we are engaging with requires innovative ideas, and liberal arts seems to be the key to this, because a liberal arts program connects domain knowledge, which is the depth and the deep learning of specific domains, to the core and elective learnings of a liberal arts program. So SSLA essentially offers a 4-year BA BSc program spread over 4 years, divided into 8 semesters. Our core courses, elective and major minor specializations include research projects, internship, community outreach programs, as well as a final year seminar paper. All these 4 aspects, the research project, the community engagement, and internship, bring together the experience, which is, and the field experience and the experience to actually engage with academics and the social space that we all live in, right? In the absence of the experience, the domain knowledge, unfortunately, has been seen to, not allow individuals to be innovative in their thinking. It has often companies gripe about the fact that when they hire individuals, they need to invest a lot of time, energy, and training with the student, with the new candidates. However, a liberal arts program, what it does is allows individuals to gain interdisciplinary learning and the soft skills that individuals require to sustain themselves in a new work environment. Liberal arts programs offer a certain kind of soft skills which are extremely important in this day and age, right? The need to be able to understand and relate to multiple perspectives, a certain kind of intellectual humility to be able to engage with diverse opinions and the diversity of the global world that we live in, right? Which brings together different groups, different ethnicities, all together within the working environment as well as our learning environment. And all of this is put together through an extremely flexible as well as an individualistic program. And as I mentioned, the depth of it comes in through our major minor specializations. We offer majors and minors in 12 different disciplines. If you see the Venn diagram there, the majors span over the sciences from mathematics and statistics to computer studies, to the arts and humanities with business studies, media, anthropology, and psychology. Our minors are interestingly some of the programs which you would not find in most other universities in India, especially peace and conflict studies, women and gender studies. We offer the minors in biology as well as physics. Students can, I mentioned the fact that it's an individualized program. And what is interesting is that students can choose to pick up a program with either a single discipline major and a single discipline minor, or they can choose one major or a double minor. So what this gives a student is essentially a very interesting combination of disciplines which were essentially believed to be incompatible, right? Talking about the fact that, maths can be studied with English and philosophy is something that most, individuals across the country would not have believed was possible. However, with the liberal arts program that all of us offer, this interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity has become the key to learning, and we believe that this is the key to the success in this future that we are very uncertain of. If you think about the kind of situations that we are living in, the pandemic, COVID-19 has brought forth a certain reality where we realize that healthcare needs to engage with artificial intelligence, it needs to engage with society, it needs to engage with psychology, right? And all of these perspectives put together is very closely linked to policy and politics, right? What is important here is that students now are understanding, and parents are realizing the importance of the breadth and the depth of learning that a liberal arts degree offers. So our degree is globally as well as nationally accepted. Our students with double majors and double minors have been pursuing their further studies, and they have been accepted very well and easily within global programs as well as the industry. So our students are placed in companies such as HDFC, Uber, Times of India, and are studying and are pursuing a master's or a PhD program across the world, right from India, from within the nation to Manipal, Hyderabad, to King's College, as well as Georgetown University. Now,
Dr. Shweta, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. So, we do have to, we don't have much time, and we do need, Ankur and Kanchi to also present. So can I just ask you to wrap up in a minute? Because there are questions coming through as well.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So our students, currently our admissions program, admissions is on, and if you would like to connect with our admissions team, the details have already been given to you. The students from IB as well as CBSE, ISC as well as ITC can take in the set or can join in the admission through their SAT scores. The timelines and the details are mentioned on our website. The fee structure for international students as well as the Indian students would also be available on the website. For international students, students would have to log into our international outlet, which is the www.scie.ac.in. And just to wrap up, if I have a moment, I would like to play this particular video, which engages with our students and what it offers to the student at SSLA. Can you hear the video? Hello?
So typically, these videos you can't really hear them on Zoom. So maybe you can share it with the audience later. Can you hear me?
Definitely. So I will do that. And
okay,
I'll be more than happy. Yeah, I can hear you. So I'll be more than happy to take questions at the end of it. Thank you.
Super. Thank you so much. Ankur, please go ahead and you can present now.
Yeah, thank you, Namita. What I'll take is I'll just start screen sharing from my end to start my presentation.
Yes.
Just give me a second. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can. You were just breaking up for a second, so.
Okay.
Hey, all good now.
Okay, what I'll do is till the time my screen is up, I'll stop my video.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing that.
All right.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. This is Vohra. I head the outreach and admissions at Jindal Global University. We are a global university located out of Sonipat, which is Delhi NCR, National Capital Region. We are about 90 minutes drive from Delhi International Airport and a fully residential university. We are now an institution of eminence by Government of India. There are about 20 universities that were selected as institution of eminence, and OP Jindal University is the only non-STEM and non-medical university to have this tag. We are amongst the top 2.5% universities in the world. We are in the top 800 universities by QS. We are a very young university. We have just completed our 10-year anniversary celebrations, but in those 10 years, we started from our law school, where we had 100 students and 10 faculty, today we have about 4,500 students plus 400 plus faculty. The key aspects of OP Jindal are these seven key aspects are faculty, infrastructure, alumni outcomes, rankings, interdisciplinarity, internationalization, and student life. I will talk about them briefly. I just have 10 minutes, so I'll be very brief. But faculty, I think I can stick my neck out and say that one of the best set of faculty in a private social sciences university in India are available at OP Jindal. We have about 400 plus faculty, out of which almost 300 plus have an international degree. About 180 of them have degrees from top 200 universities globally. If you go through our faculty base for all our schools, you will see faculty from Oxford and Harvard and Stanford. Our deans are from, so you name it, those institutions and those people have those experiences and now teaching at Jindal. Another aspect that you should know about Jindal is that we are very cautious about the faculty-student ratio. We have 1:10 faculty-student ratio, which is amongst the best in India, not only India, but in Asia. So we have our small class sizes, and so that we have we can give proper attention to all our students. Internationalization and international collaborations, I think, again, I'll say that sticking my neck out and saying that Jindal, the kind of student mobility options that Jindal gives you, no other university can give you that. We have about tie-ups with Cornell, we have with Harvard and Stanford, and so we have dual degree programs. So every semester we send about 150 students abroad for semester exchange or dual degree or short-term exchange programs. These are some of the places that our students go to, from Oxford to Stanford to Columbia to NYU. So just a reference point, but there are a whole lot of universities out there that our students are going to as of now. We are an interdisciplinary social science liberal arts university. So apart from the liberal arts program, we do have courses across 9 schools. So we have courses in law, business, liberal arts, economics, BCom, journalism, art and architecture. We are launching a new school, School of Environment and Sustainability. So we also offer a 3-year degree program in environment and sustainability. So there is wide variety of courses that student can choose from. Also, our very well established School of International Affairs, which is, I think, one of a kind school. So coming to the JSLH, our School of Liberal Arts and Humanities, we offer a 3-year BA Honors program in Liberal Arts and Humanities. Also have a dual degree tie-up for our BA Honors in Liberal Arts and Humanities with Rollins College in US and Deakin University in Australia. So you can easily spend 2 years at Jindal and 2 years at Rollins or Deakin and get a double degree. I can talk about this more if I have some questions. So why liberal arts? I think my colleague Dr. Shweta very nicely mentioned her take on liberal arts. For Jindal, I think these are the 4 points. Interdisciplinary courses, experiential learning, languages. We do offer about 4 languages to students. I think Spanish is compulsory from first year, and then we have courses in French, Mandarin, and German. We also have a self-designed major available for our students. These are the 10 majors that we have. We don't do sciences. We are only a social sciences. So we offer a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts and Humanities. So only social science majors, economics, environment, sustainability, expressive arts. So these are all mentioned here. We can talk about it if students, but only social science programs. Our international exchange programs, as I said, you name it, and we have a tie-up with Oxford, or UC Berkeley, or there are a wide variety of options to go abroad. So we offer, our admission process is that we take scores of SAT, ACT, or JSAT, minimum 60% in grade 12. You can come from IB, Cambridge, any other recognized board. We want an equivalence of 60% plus a score of JSAT, SAT, or ACT. Our fees are mentioned here, so I'm not talking about them. Admission process for Jindal is completely online. We are available, the complete process is online on admissions.jgu.edu.in. Anybody can start the application process by going online. Okay, so admission process is pretty simple. As I said, we want your academic criteria. We need your non-academic and personal context in the application. So if you fill up the online application, there will be a lot of emphasis on extracurriculars, letter of recommendation. There is an essay. There are a few questions on for us to understand your interest in our liberal arts program. after you fill up all these information, if you are shortlisted, you will have a in-person interview with us. In-person interview as of now is on Skype or phone, so you don't need to come anywhere again for that. So our JSAT, Jindal Scholastic Aptitude Test, has gone online. This is just an information poster that I got created from my design team. So all our students, again, for JSAT, before COVID hit, you had to go to specific centers and give the test. Now you can give JSAT from your home itself. You just have to go online on the website of Pearson and get yourself registered and take a date and time, and you can give it from your home. We just became, yesterday we were awarded, I think there are only 12 universities in India that were awarded QS IGWIJ Elite Certificate, which means that we have adapted very well, very fast to online learning. All our students are, as of now, the current students are being engaged by online classes, and that IGWIJ certificate is one of the key achievements for us in the last couple of months, and testament to our hard work to bring the entire system online, from classroom to admissions to our interviews. So everything is online, and I think we are very happy to get this recognition from QS. We do offer scholarships. We offer scholarships on means come merit. So if somebody has an interest to apply for scholarship, we have your financial background. As of now, that we offer scholarships to only families below whose annual income is below 30 lakhs per annum. And if you have 30 lakhs per annum, lower than 30 lakhs per annum financial status, then you can apply for scholarship, but scholarship will be given on merit. So there will be a pool of applicants, and that will only happen once the CBSE results are out and our SAT, ACT or JSAT results are out for all the applicants. So we'll start the scholarship process somewhere in June and July once we have the class filled up. I'm not going to talk about JSAT, but this is a slide. If somebody is interested on JSAT, I can probably take it. So I think that is for me. I think I'm done for my presentation.
Thank you so much. I'm going to get, Kanchi, please go ahead and share your slides.
Thank you. So I have a presentation which is called a 10-minute presentation. So it has just a couple of slides. I do have a lot more information, but I'll only pull it up if there are questions around it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So I'm not able, okay, yeah.
There we go.
KREA University is, if your university, Jindal, is young, I think we'll be called a fledgling. So we're the new kid on the block, just a year old. But KREA University is sponsored by an organization called the IFMR, which is the Institute of Financial Management and Research, which is 50 years old. So KREA University today has under it a business school, which is about 18 years old. We've got research centers, which are very, very, well connected. We've got, in fact, Abhijit Banerjee's complete research was done with IFMR. So we do have a collective wisdom of many, many years and decades, of course. But what we are here to talk about today is the School of Interwoven Arts and Sciences. Under this school, we offer just the BA honors and BSc honors, and we will be offering a 4th year of advanced studies, but that will start sometime next year. And this 4th year will be on offer to everyone, even graduates who have not graduated from our university. So I'm going to talk about this and, more about what we've really pioneered. We are a liberal learning university, but we pioneered something known as the interwoven learning model. And I can very confidently say that no university must have thought about their curriculum as deeply as we have. So we are liberal learning. Students have that flexibility, the choice to combine majors and minors and do all of that. But the difference really lies in how we teach and the pedagogy. So this is what you see here is just an image, but it's actually a booklet which is given to all faculty members when they join us. And it's guidelines as to how to design their curriculum. So whether it's a physics curriculum at KREA or it's a literature major at KREA, all of them have to have all these elements. So the way we thought of it was that, it should be a curriculum that really brings together the past, present, and future, and really prepares students for, tomorrow's workplace or to be a learner really for life. And if you look at it, if you see the way we are teaching, we are creating learners out of people. We realize that whatever we teach them today, whatever knowledge that we give to whatever information we give them today is going to become redundant in a couple of years. They are going to have to upskill themselves, reskill themselves. And especially in the context of, the way machine learning is taking over, the way AI is coming into our workplaces, increasingly we're asking ourselves the question, what is the role of humans, in this really artificial intelligence driven workplace? So humans will be doing what humans are best doing, to think critically, higher level skills, thinking skills, being able to communicate, being able to do away with biases. And also what we have to realize is that our students and our young workforce will have to work in really 3 dimensions. The human-human interactions, the human-machine interaction, and the human environment interaction. And if we don't prepare them for that now, they're not going to be able to do their job successfully. So if you look at the number of people that the world has today, or how small the globe has become, despite the fact that we are all in a lockdown, we are still connected globally, right? So we are talking to people who don't look like us, who don't think like us. So we have to develop those sensibilities. And that's what really this curriculum aims to, put students on a path to those kind of skills. Right, so every course will be writing intensive. We want them to communicate not just within the discipline, but outside the discipline as well. A mathematician should be able to speak to a non-mathematician just as well and write stuff which everyone understands. And of course, there's a research, research degrees, so they do a capstone thesis. Interdisciplinarity is not something that we leave to the students to combine subjects and bring about. Interdisciplinary elements are integrated, interwoven into the curriculum itself. So you wouldn't be surprised if in a math class you have a historian coming and talking about ethics, or in a literature class you have a mathematician coming and teaching statistics. So really the curriculum is bringing together of practical and theory and the sciences and humanities together. And that's really the future of tomorrow. We'll never be able to silo our learning anymore. So we do have something which runs very strongly as a common thread in all curriculum, and that's ethics. We very strongly believe that students should, at this age, which is when they're really discovering themselves, to be having these discussions, these conversations on what's correct and what's not correct, or what, everyone has their own understanding, but they have to develop that understanding of morality and ethics. And if we don't have those conversations in our classrooms today, tomorrow in the workplace, we're going to have a lot of problems, especially with so much data available online. Who's going to think of, data privacy and integrity in what we do? And if I may say so, liberal arts really builds leaders, and leaders' decisions are going to impact the world, not just their own organization. So this is very, very important for us. Another thing that we've integrated into all courses is data analytics, because we know data is coming from all over. There's an overwhelming information overload for us. So how are students able to make sense of that? Are they good analytical thinkers? That's also very important for us. And of course, the discussions on uncertainty and discussion on unanswered questions till now. Students of today might just be the next Einstein and find those solutions. So if we don't talk about these, then we'll miss out on a lot of innovation coming in. So very quickly, when a student comes into KREA, they have to actually do 35 courses to graduate. In the first year, which is a common course, they do a set of skill and core courses. Right? Towards their major, which they choose in the second year, they do 15 courses. They're still left with about 8+1, 9 courses, which they can, spread across electives, take them, say if a boy is doing computer science, he can say, I'd love to do a couple of courses in political science, or let me take some in economics, or some in literature or psychology. So really pursue whatever they want to. But this is not to say that we let them out in a candy store and say, pick up whatever you want. They have guidance and mentorship from day one. So there will be a faculty member, will be a guide who will really sit with you and understand what your aspirations are, what career pathways are you looking at, what courses you should take up, what internships you should do, what projects you should do. So there's guidance all along. But in fact, something very interesting is coming up. We are allowing our students to even create their own majors. You know, there were some students who said we want to study, say, life sciences and psychology together. We are allowing them to create that major for themselves. So there's a lot of flexibility there. In between both the years, between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, there'll be immersion experiences. Now, these immersions can be academic. They may go to our partner universities to do academic immersions, or they may join the industry and do an internship. So we have a lot of tie-ups. We have tie-ups with Chicago, Stanford, Oxford, NTU, and a lot more actually. They're all on our website where they can take up their semesters or summer abroad, right? But we also have tie-ups with organizations like the Academic Internship Council, which will throw up opportunities for our students across 20 countries. So they just might end up going to, say, Brazil or someplace to do their internships, which are very interesting. But the first year, we want them to do a social internship because they're not really ready for the industry after their first year. So they do a social impact internship, and this was unanimously this appreciated by everyone across board, whether it was faculty or the students. They wanted to do it because KREA really wants to create these very purposeful and socially conscious leaders, independent thinkers, of course, but yes, socially conscious leaders. So the fourth year really will be an option. If they want to take it, they can do further deep dive into their major, take up another minor, or convert their previous minor into a major. It'll have a senior thesis. So it's a postgraduate diploma course. These are the majors that we are offering. So any subject, any discipline can be taken as a major and can be taken as a minor. We have business studies and philosophy as 2 extra minors. So those are just minors right now. Since we have a business school on campus, which is very, very strong in finance, students will be free to pick up electives across that as well. And we really see that as interesting combinations coming up there. We have faculty from all across the world. I'll urge all students who are interested to go online, check their credentials. They are fantastic researchers from all over the world, but most importantly, they are mentors. Because in liberal learning, it's very important that you have that one-on-one connect with your faculty and also with the peers that are around you. So we started small. We took in 113 students last year, but we really handpicked them from almost 1,100 applications. We'll be taking in about 180 this time. So we are growing, but very slowly. We want to really, spend the first couple of years in co-creating this curriculum. So even the students are a part of co-creating the curriculum. The first years had this opportunity and they work very closely with the faculty, right? So our admissions process is holistic. We are really building a class. It's not a competitive process, it's collaborative, and we're also need blind. So the admissions process, the admissions team and the financial aid department have a firewall. They don't talk to each other. Both offers come out separately. The first stage, it's a multi-stage process, which is very, very rigorous. And we are really looking at not just academic strength. We are looking at curiosity. We are looking at collaborative skills. We are looking at open-mindedness. We are looking at problem solving. So how we do that is that the first stage is very similar to what most universities would do. There's a personal story for context, your academic grades, your extracurricular, co-curricular listings. And basis that, we'll shortlist you to come for a second round. Now it's a second round where we are really looking at your personality and looking at whether you'll fit in the KREA culture well. And that's when we present them with a case study. The case study used to be an on-site case study. We used to take them out on a field trip. Unfortunately, we can't do that, but it's converted completely online. We have these case studies with pause points, completely curated by faculty members, and students get to engage with this on an individual level They write their own reflective essay, their own understanding of the case. They also get into groups and do this. So we formed very small 5 to 6 student groups who sort of do the case study together. And we also get them to meet each other a day prior so that there's no unfamiliarity and hesitance. So they are happy doing that, right? And so it's after all this, we are collecting almost 18 data points. And we put them in a rubric. We have our internal benchmark. It's only at the on the basis of our on the composite score that we give out admission decisions. And there's no one parameter that can get you in or get you a rejection. So really, it's a process that kids enjoy a lot. So I think I'll leave it at this. We're in our last round of admissions, which closes on Sunday. But given that this whole situation and exams have got delayed, we are creating another round, which will open on May 18th. And students are most welcome to apply to us. I'll stop here. If there are any questions, I'll take them. Namita, I'm done with this.
You're done? Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. Thank you so much to all of you, Kanchi, Dr. Shweta, and Ankur, for giving us, such a clear sort of picture of your universities. And I'm going to share my screen now. 1 second. Just a second. Hold on. There we go. And I'm going to go on to ask some questions of all of you about your universities, because I think you've given us a good introduction and we're getting lots of questions come across. But we have, our own questions to ask you, and we're getting, like I said, questions from the audience. So can everyone hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Ankur, you look like you can't hear me. That's why I asked.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Perfect. All right. So, okay, so this year you all spoke about your admissions process and the varying degrees to which the process is holistic, the testing that has to be done, etc. So can each of you just briefly mention this year, because of the way that applications, not even just this year actually, even in years beyond this, if we're talking about kids who are in 10th grade now who may not have board exams and things like that. So how do you think you'll be looking at things differently and evaluating applications differently in the coming application cycle? So Ankur, why don't you go ahead first?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Kim. I think we are happy and we are blessed that we have a holistic admission process. So we do ask the students for their complete academic record from grade 10 onwards. We know that COVID has led to a lot of disruptions. There are board exams that are not scheduled to happen for I think late. Results will come out only by late August for CBSE. So there is a lot of issues there. So we are trying to understand students' profile definitely, and we are giving it more weightage to how they are presenting their case in terms of letter of recommendation, their SOP and the questions that we have, and we are definitely spending more time with questions. If there are some students where we feel that their academic record is not convincing enough, we do ask them to, as I said, our JSAT exam is an option for those students, so they can give it from their home now. So we have made it online and available to them. So we are trying to move away from just grade 12 sports, which was the case even previously. We don't really had the scores, and we used to close our admissions majorly by the time CBSE results used to come out. So I think students in our university and OP Jindal Global University will be happy because of our holistic admission process. I think that's what I have to say. I can't share my admit rate as of now, but I would have loved to if I could.
But as of now, you won't be adding, say, an extra recommendation letter or a different interview part of the different kind of interview, or
what our
demonstrated Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So what was the thing that we have come to is that we will only ask for additional recommendation letter or additional JSAT scores for a student if we are not convinced by their existing set of application. That means their current LOR, current SOP, our interview process, because we have now started interviewing candidates even without the JSAT or SAT score. So that is one thing that we have adopted, that we are now majorly interviewing all the candidates. So my day goes in interviewing a lot of candidates, and there are a lot of faculty also. And we are trying to give them that option that they don't miss out on this process because of maybe a lower academic score in their grades 11 or 12. So I think that's one thing that we have added. We are doing face-to-face talk to every applicant majorly these days, and trying to ascertain from where they are coming from, and the current context, and where they want to go, and see the fitment. If they fit our profile, then probably.
Great. Dr. Shweta, do you anticipate any changes in your application process, evaluation process?
Sure. So right from the beginning, we've looked at students in terms of, what they want to learn and what is it that they are trying to engage with the liberal arts program. In terms of any changes in our admission process, like I mentioned, we will continue to go ahead with our set. What we have done, however, is that in normal circumstances, our set exam would have happened in the first Saturday of May. We've extended the dates, so you can continue to register till the 20th of this month. And our first, the set exam would actually take place on the 31st of May. And a second round, in case students have not been able to access due to various technological issues, can come again for another second round sometime in the first week of June. What is also happening is, like I mentioned earlier, that students can for the first time apply through their SAT scores. This was something that we brought in for the first time, and students who come in through their SAT scores will not be expected to appear for the set. However, SIU has the WAT, or the writing ability test, which all students are expected to take. And all of this, whether the set or the SAT or the personal interaction, will happen online from home. So it's exams from home, right? You will not have to come out or engage with any kind of travel. This is going to be from the safety and the confines of your own home. What we need to focus on, or what SSLA likes to focus on, the idea that when we conduct our personal interactions, they are not stress tests. They are basically trying to understand what are the students really wanting with a higher education degree. They are conversations about what the students are interested in, their areas of curricular as well as extracurricular activities. In that sense, so SSLA will not be changing any particular admission process. As I had already mentioned, for international students, you would have to go through the SCIE, which is the Symbiosis Center for International Education, and students can go online. For international students, you do not have to appear for either a SET or a SAT exam. You come in through a letter of recommendation as well as an LOR. There are no interview processes, and that allows you to come in through to SSLA directly. In that sense, there would be really no change in our admission processes, except that everything is now to be conducted online.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think it's all very complex. I'm going to show your email addresses at the end, so then when people have more questions. Kanchi, would you like to? Our
process really hasn't changed, but what I'd like to highlight here is that for us, academic strength doesn't only get evaluated by your school scores, right? By your school grades. We are looking at your academic strength across the two stages, from how you engage with the case study, how you interact with the faculty members. So for us, there's not so much of a dependency on the school scores, right? Even if it's getting delayed, even if they're not coming in. So earlier we used to give out conditional offers, which were based on predicted grades, and then students had to later send in their final scores. But now we realize that what we did was this year, that if a student is a really strong profile, and we are very happy and we really want them to come in, we would make them an absolutely firm offer with just that one condition, that you need to clear your grade 12, right? Whenever it comes in. For others, we would still continue to give out conditional offers saying you have to meet your predicteds. But for a lot of students, we have been able to make firm offers much before, we thinking of closing our third round. So that's what we've changed. And of course, it's gone online. And we really value them being collaborative people, open-minded people, and we'll continue to evaluate that and assess that.
That's great.
Kim, if I may add one thing. We till date, we were not using the 10th standard scores at all. However, from this year, from this particular year, we are going to include their 10th standard scores during the PI section and not before that. So that's just a minor change that has come in.
Great. I think, you know, like I said, your email addresses will be shared at the end, and you've all shared so much about, you know, your institution. So obviously webinars like this is a good way for students to find out more. I am getting a specific question here about, can you connect a prospective student with a current student to learn more? So can you each just say, you know, sort of yes or no? And if you have anything else that's sort of unique or special to the way that your university tries to communicate with prospective students, you can let me know about that. And I'll go in reverse order, Kanchi.
So Kim, we have an ambassador program. We've selected about 18 ambassadors from our current cohort who connect with prospective students. And for now, we haven't put it up on the website. I'd request you to write to us. We have an email ID and thing there and a number there which you can write to, and we'll connect you to our student ambassadors. They can answer all your questions. In fact, we even had a webinar conducted by KREA students for prospective students, and if we have another one, we'll let you know definitely.
Okay, great. And Shweta, do you have any current students that can speak to prospective students?
Definitely, yes. We have an admissions team which includes faculty as well as students, and students can write to our admissions ID as we've already said, and they'll be able to interact with the current students as well as faculty to engage and understand specific details about the program if they're interested in. They can also, essentially in the past, when in the normal situation, students could actually come and sit in our classrooms. And unfortunately, since we cannot offer that, we are planning to bring in a certain short duration courses where students can actually sit in the classrooms to engage with the kind of courses that SSLA offers and the interaction and the small classroom sizes that we offer. So that will allow our students a glimpse into what SSLA offers for them.
Okay, great. And Ankur, what about Jindal?
Yeah, absolutely. So we also have that Student Connect program. We call it the Buddy Project, wherein we have about 20 students from our existing class who from year 1 to 3 engaging with the students. So so that resources are available to students 24/7. I think they're very accessible on WhatsApp. And we did also have a student-led webinar just last weekend for the liberal arts program. So anytime any student wants to get connected to these buddy students, they are happy to reach out to us. We will love to connect them.
Okay, great. Let me just see here. I have so many audience questions. I'm just trying to make sure I get through them all. Okay. Sorry. I think some of you spoke about this, but I'm getting a question about it. Do ICSE students need to give IELTS for IELTS or SAT or some language requirement for all of your institutions? You can.
We don't need IELTS. We don't need IELTS. We just need, no, we don't need any English proficiency test from anyone. We just need either SAT, ACT, or JSAT scores. That's it.
Okay. And Dr. Shweta?
Yeah, so we don't need IELTS either. You just need to clear either the SET exam or you can come in through the SAT exam. So we do not need an English proficiency test at all.
Okay. And Kanchi?
So neither do we. No English evaluation, but we are happy to look at your SAT and ACT scores. They can even get you a firm offer, and we won't wait for your board exam results.
Okay, so Shweta, I do have a specific question about the SET.
Okay.
Somebody is asking if you can be more specific about the 5 subcategories that will be assessed. And then another specific question for SSLA, which is the 4th year compulsory or is it a 3+1 degree?
Okay, so let me start from the second question. It is a 4-year undergraduate degree program. It's not a 3+1. There is no exit option in the 3rd year. right?
Okay.
Like I'd mentioned earlier, it is a 4-year undergraduate degree program within honors, right? I don't think there are any other honors degree programs in the liberal arts field within India. In terms of the set exam, like I had mentioned, the set exam includes an English, the English grammar as well as general knowledge, logical reasoning, and mathematical reasoning. These are the 4 sections that you will have to appear for if you are coming in through the set exam. That's the first step. Once you, along with this, you will have to appear for a written ability test, which will be conducted along with the SAT exam in these situations. Otherwise, it used to happen in the past, it was a separate exam altogether. Taking into consideration the ease and bringing in technology, we are trying to conduct the set as well as the writing ability test at one go. Once the shortlist is released, we will be conducting the PI, or the personal interaction, which is also going to be online. And it will be through these 3 aspects that we will be selecting our final candidates. In the past, we've had a 1:6 ratio in terms of the candidates that we take in. We will continue to do the same, and we intend to start our program somewhere in the last week of July, essentially the 26th and the 27th of July.
Okay, great. For Kanchi, I have some KREA questions here. About, if you can see them, about the psychology program. Is it scientifically inclined? Does it entail studying physics and chemistry? And how much biology is part of psychology?
Yeah. So, it has more of, so psychology is a science because some parts of it are computational. We do teach statistics and, learning data analytics there as well. Also, it's closely related to the life sciences program. So not as much physics and chemistry, but definitely life sciences. So that's why it's in the sciences division, really.
Okay, and then the question about whether Business 2020 is still open.
I think it's closed, but I asked her to check the website to see if we opened another round.
Okay, great.
Like for undergrad, yeah.
And then the final question, I think, for you specifically is, do you have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree?
Yeah, I did answer that actually, but so fine arts, we're not a fine arts college, right? It's a liberal arts college. So we do have an arts major. The arts major will give you some elements of performing arts, some of art curation, some of art management, some of appreciation of art. So there'll be all those electives built in. So just some component of it would be the actual performance of the art or the practice of art.
And what about Symbiosis or Jindal, Shweta?
So we do not offer, we do offer a specialization in performing arts, which includes music, theater, as well as dance. But the degree that a student would get would be a BA degree. So it would be a BA Liberal Arts Honors with specialization in performing arts, depending upon the choices that the students make. What is interesting is that students can bring together all 3 aspects of performing arts: theater, music, as well as dance. It will be completely individualized depending upon the needs of the student. What you need to keep in mind that it's a minor specialization. That means your major degree will have to be one of the other specializations from the list that we have already mentioned. Performing arts is a minor specialization that we offer at SSLA.
Okay. Ankur, I have a question for you about, you mentioned that after you have these programs with Rollins and what was the other one?
Deakin University.
Which is in Deakin, right, in Australia. So students can transfer into those programs after 2 years, right, at Jindal, but can they, what about other undergraduate institutions around the world? Have students successfully done that? Do students, do you know if the credits transfer in the same way as they do to say Rollins or something like that? Like just in terms of, do students transfer successfully from Jindal?
So yeah, thank you, Kim, for that question. Yeah, we do have a double degree program tie-ups for the liberal arts school with only Deakin and Rollins. So that is 2 years at Jindal and 2 years at these institutions, and we do have credit transfers. We do have tie-ups with, I think liberal arts school has tie-up with about 50 other universities for semester exchange programs where we do credit transfers, but those are not double degree programs. So they can go to these, and we do credit transfer from these places, and I mentioned some at my slide, but it will not be a double degree program. That's just a semester exchange program. So those short-term study abroad programs, semester exchange programs, and double degree programs, I think these are 3 of them.
Okay. And what about for all of you, I suppose, someone is asking about 4 years of undergraduate is accepted in the US. It's equivalent to a 4-year bachelor's degree, correct?
Yes.
It is. It is.
It is.
It's
Okay,
completely
fine. Do any of your institutions offer support or accommodation for students with any special needs or learning needs? Kanchi, I'll let you start.
So we do, we've just taken in one batch, and we've got students with certain learning disabilities. We are very conscious of it. We are working towards building that infrastructure that may be required later to get in students maybe a little higher on the spectrum. But right now we weren't there in the first year. We are much better this year, and we'll get better over the years. So it's not about taking them in, and we would want them. It's just that we have to be prepared for them.
Right. And Ankur?
I think that holds true for me as well. We do welcome those students, but I think we need, I have a couple of them, but not many. I think that's got to do with our admission process as well, because we don't have a separate admission process for children with special needs. So all of us have to go through SAT or JSAT and that entry process. So I don't think we are there yet, but we are working towards that, and we are very conscious that we need to get there. But I'll not say that we are there, because there is no separate admission process. They all have to come through the same.
Okay. And Dr. Shweta, anything to add?
No, very similar to KREA as well as OP Jindal. We do take in students with special needs in terms of learning disability, but in terms of higher needs, we are still trying to get there. We are in the process of it. However, learning disability is something that we do take into consideration. Students do get special attention in terms of mentoring, right, with peer mentoring as well as faculty mentoring. So we do take care of that perspective.
Okay, great. All right, so I have one more question. I think Kanchi, I can see you answering questions, so I'm not sure if I need to actually ask you.
No, I did. They're mostly about fees and financial aid, which I clarified.
Okay, fine. And psychology, I think.
Yeah.
So someone is asking, if I do a 3-year liberal arts degree, will I be eligible to apply to the USA for a master's? And I will just answer that question by saying it depends on the institution you're transferring into. It does not depend on any of these institutions. So if it is unlikely that a 3-year liberal arts degree will be enough, but it is a case by case sort of situation.
I think, Kim, if I can answer this, I think we do get a lot of such queries from our current students.
Yeah.
There are some institutions that in US that require a 4-year degree program. So to address that, we have just launched this year our optional 4th year program at Jindal. So we are launching from August the Jindal Fellowship program, which will satisfy this criteria of 4 years of education in India. So
right. Yeah, it's usually required. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go on to I think you all did speak about financial aid and the support that you offer to students. And we are actually, I think we're out of time. Let me just check. Yeah, we have a few minutes left. But I wanted to just ask a little bit about job placements. So you all spoke a little bit about internships and job support for students, but is there any particular, is there any particular major or course of study where you see students, sort of being more successful in the job market, or do you think it's just dependent student by student how ambitious and how sort of focused they are? So Kanchi, I'll let you answer first.
So when I spoke extensively about the curriculum, that's what I was bringing out, that we are building those skills that they'll require in the job. Because there are a lot of myths about liberal arts, sciences, that it doesn't, it's not a vocational or a professional degree, and so you might not get a job after this. But seriously, even in consultancies, in BCG, everywhere, liberal arts graduates are being picked up as analysts, right? They come with such fantastic skills. So those are the skills that we're focusing and building up. And rather than have a placement cell, which we do have for the business school, for the undergrads, we've got a career services department, which will work with them from day one, like I said. And it's too early for me to say how many placements we'll be able to do. But yes, the internships are pouring in, and students have a lot of choice in that regards.
Okay, great. And Shweta, anything to add there?
Sure. Yes. So SSLA does have an internship as well as a career and a placement cell. But what is interesting is that only about 30 to 40% of our students are really interested in placements. So what we try and do is that students apply to the career or the placement cell in their third year, and depending upon their interests and the areas that they want to explore for employability, we try and connect them with the organizations. And in terms of the numbers, we either try and send our students to these organizations for interviews as is required, or the companies and organizations do come for placements at SSLA itself, right? But depending upon the student choices and the kind of combinations they have, it's interesting that we've not noticed a particular specialization that has, gotten students more jobs or, more internships. I think most companies are looking for certain skills, which we've all talked about in terms of that liberal arts offer. So most students who need or who are interested in, working actually have been placed, and we've never had a student who's really looked for a particular sector that they want to engage with and has not been able to, get through. So we do have a placement cell that supports students as and when they need.
Okay, and Ankur, what about Jindal? It's
Absolutely. So we do have, as we call our, mentioned in my slide, we focus on learning. So there are 4 internships which are credit bearing and part of their curriculum. So there is an office of career services. There is a mentor assigned to them. As I said, we work on 1:10 student ratio. So they have mentors and they'll get internship across social sciences. But I'll say that in terms of after the internships, 80% of my students go abroad for higher education. So I had again mentioned it in one of my slides, from King's College to Sciences, they are going all over. So the idea, the kind of students that we get are traditionally looking to go for higher education. But if they do want some placements, we definitely have those types.
That's great. So I think that because we are running out of time, and I still would like you to say, to sort of, we are all, and especially you guys are talking to all families, students, admitted students, prospective students, everybody's worried, everyone has questions at this time always, but especially this year. So if you can each please just give us, a word of advice that you can offer to students that, that you think will help them kind of get through this process and this period of uncertainty, or anything else that you'd like to say. And also, can you mention, because this question's coming across, whether you're planning to open, I think Dr. Shweta, you did mention July, but if you have any plans to open, or when you think you might open. So I'll let you go first, Dr. Shweta, then.
Okay. So I think one of the things that we've always looked at are, and I mentioned this earlier, that and what the advice that we would like to give our students right now and applicants is essentially be calm, be yourself. We are adapting to suit your needs, and you will be able to, choose and, get through the set exams without much hassle. So, or through your SAT scores, you will be able to get through to us through your writing ability test as well as your PI. Just be ready to explore, be enthusiastic about the future, and these situations that we are in will pass over. The human species is a very resilient species, right? And history says that we've always managed to get through to whatever problems that we've faced in the past. So these times are just for now, they will pass over, they will gloss over. So just that, so take care, and good luck for the future.
Thank you. Ankur?
Yeah, with regards to our campus opening, as I said, we are following the UGC guidelines, which say 1st of September is our date for freshman class coming in, and we are sticking to that. But definitely we are looking at a blended learning model for our students. So we are never sure of how this crisis will turn up. But even if the classes are do not resume in certain cases in September, we will make sure that the campus and the studies are not affected, and we do have online learning which is continued. With regards to my advice, I think as Dr. Shweta said, all of us are trying to adapt, and we are all humans, be it students or be it for us at admissions, we are also trying to adapt. Everybody is trying to adapt, and I think we all have to be positive and continue doing the good work that all of us are doing, and focus on the larger goal rather than getting stuck in the day-to-day anxieties that we may get, and probably watch less of Indian news channels, because if you those you will go for a toss. So just focus on the work. I try to focus on my work, and just read the morning newspaper for 15-20 minutes and then get on with my work. And I think all of us are busy. All of us have our professional lives, and students will have their academics and their personal lives and their. So I wish them all the best. Let's focus on what we have.
Hi. So I'd just like to say that, learning came for me and for KREA. Learning has three parts to it. There's the information, there's the knowledge, and then there's the wisdom that comes out of it. The information we've been pushed to completely take online, which should be readily available to students always. And KREA always wanted it to be like that. They could always come back and, look at their lectures all over again. The knowledge sessions are happening because they're interacting with each other. We are really hoping to open in August. We're all geared up for it, and which we do always in mid-August. So we don't think we need to delay that. But if all goes well, we will. For students, I just want to say something to them that at this point in time, it's important. We know that you are your careers, and sometimes maybe you haven't really figured out yourself, right? So you seem to be the most vulnerable group right now. Everything's put on hold, but I think what we can't control, we should make the best use of. Publishers, libraries, e-libraries, Coursera, they've all started offering free courses. So use this time to really up your skills, learn something new, look forward to it positively. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're really overwhelmed and you don't know if you can start your your undergraduate right away, take a gap year. It's not a bad thing. It'll help you figure yourself out, and spend some time in reflection. Look at things around yourself which are going positively. So don't worry, don't get overwhelmed. But if you do, it's not the end of the world, is what I wanted to say. And
Kim, if I may add, like Jindal and like KREA, we will be starting in July, and as per government diktats, we would, since September is the deadline, most of our classes will begin with online learning, right? So there will be, the students will start with online learning before face-to-face and physical interactions start. So there will be synchronous as well as asynchronous modes that we will be sharing with our students. And so good luck, and if admissions do take place the way they do, we'll be happy to have them.
Thank you so much. It's really been nice to have you all on here this evening. I think, being able to share so much information about such great universities and options right here in India is a real sort of bonus for students. I don't know if they realize that this is a brave new world you guys are are at the forefront of. So it's really exciting, and thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, and have a great weekend.
Thank
you.
All right.
Enjoy yourself. Take care.
Thank you, Kim. Bye. Thank you so much for having me, having us here. Thank you. Thank you to you and Namita.